Turned for the fourth round of the ARC Formula 1 Championship. This time we will have the Spanish Grand Prix. As qualifying just begun, nobody has actually gotten all the way out of the pits yet. The first to do so is Nathan Carr in the Ferrari, who I feel like he's always the first one to get out of the pits. I had to adjust the volume because his car was deafening me. A lot of people not wasting much time this evening. No, that's every other race. This afternoon to get on the racetrack and begin their qualifying. Usually it takes a little longer for a lot of people, but we've already got like 8 cars on their way around. We only have 14 contenders. We got a little bit of a lower field. I blame NASCAR for that. As Nathan Carr is about to get his first qualifying lap underway. And taking personal note of the like 4 or 5 cars that are immediately after him on the racetrack. One of the Alphas, the 2 Racing Points, and the McLaren are also just started their laps. I'm sure the engine loved that. Well, that would have been quite a bit of a track extend there, but we'll allow it. Huge braking for the hairpin, upshifting before he's even on the gas. And he seems not pleased with that lap, apparently. So we'll switch to Lee Kelly, who is the next car on the track in the Alfa Romeo, and he's going to be the one to set the provisional lap time for the start of the session. And that will be a 1 minute 17.2, which is automatically beaten by Christian Pacheco with a 1:15.6. And Kyler Boggs, the other Racing Point, finds the middle ground with the 16.5. And AJ Kaneko with the 16.8. Now notably, Christian Pacheco is on the soft tires, and Boggs and Kaneko weren't. This will make De Jong, also on the soft tires, seem to be having a bit of like an off lap for him as well as for Lee Kelly. I have to imagine anyway. I don't think there's that much of a skill gap here. And here comes Jake Scarborough to complete his lap on the mediums. He runs a 16:58. Connor Suchel, the 16:85. As the game is still telling me who set the fastest lap. Game I already know. Doesn't seem intent on going away either. Liam Karag ran a 17.1, and I wasn't paying attention, probably distracted by the game trying to tell me of Christian's lap time that I already saw. Matthew Stott is on an outlap, and he is driving awfully fast for it being an outlap. And here's a big storyline of today's race. Mitch Kahan has returned to the ARC grid for the first time in a few months. He's reserved for AJ. I don't know if this will be a permanent thing this season or what, but I doubt it. Huge hit on the curb there. That's going to really disrupt his lap time. He's going to get around and he's going to set a 17.3 on the medium tires though, so seems like Connor Setchel is doing another lap and Matthew Stott is on his lap, so Stott is further along. We'll put the camera on him in the meantime. Van Nustendorp and Parker are on outlaps. Parker, Van Nustendorp just began his. Car got very unhappy on the exit of that turn. I don't know if this fastest lap thing is ever going to go away or what. I think it honestly has to... It might go away if somebody beats that lap, but I think we'll be waiting a while on that one. As Stotts must have missed Sector 1 or something. I didn't even look at his lap data up there. What the heck? Setchel will come back around and his lap time will be a 16:45. And it puts him second at the moment. And that was on medium tires. Pacheco is back on the track on another set of softs. He gets out of the way for Setchel, who's also himself on an in-lap. But still going faster, I guess. And Lee Kelly is about to complete his next attempt at qualifying. No? Maybe? I'm not exactly sure. His DRS isn't open, so he's not trying to go fast right now, clearly. Okay, seriously, is that thing gonna go away? I'll have to look at the other stuff here. Okay, well, I got warnings. So I definitely noticed that Stott sped into the pit lane pretty badly, as well as smacking his front end into the wall. Quite interesting, because the weather in Barcelona is very rainy today. But it cleared up for 4 hours this afternoon, like, you know, around right now. So we just had just enough time to get a race in with no weather, no rain. And Parker runs a 16.8 and nearly blocks Christian Pacheco as he begins his next lap. And Kelly is still going around the track, but is also not... Now he has his DRS open, but his ERS is not on. It's kind of confusing right now, I'm not gonna lie. Is he just trying to get track time in or something? It's my only thought. Jake Nickel is getting onto his outlap. Pacheco in the midst of his flying lap. He's already on pole for the moment. So this is just insurance above anything else. Huge impact on that curve. That was something out of Fast and Furious right there. As both McLarens are on their outlaps. And Matthew Stotts is on another hot lap. And Kahan is now off to begin his next flyer. Kinnickle in Sector 3, so it won't be too long before he will do the same. The Stotts, Kahan, and Kameka will all be beginning their lap. Will all be on their laps at the same time, but they'll all be in different parts of the track. Stotts is in Sector 3, Kahan is just about to hit 2, and AJ Kinnickle just started. So Mickey Dujong is on his next outlap. And here comes Stotts to complete his. 16:27, that puts him second on the board now. And that was, again, also on mediums. So there's clearly a lot of time to find on this track if you're running soft tires, if the mediums are that close. Kahan creeps through the final chicane. He's on the soft tires, so he will be making a challenge for pole, but he will only get to second on the grid with a 16:1 at the moment. AJ Kinnickle also on his own set of soft tires. Going very wide, however, that's going to lose quite a bit of time. And a lot of curbs. Okay, that one's dusted. Does he even improve off his previous lap? Well, barely. He improved just enough to gain 1 place on Jonathan Parker, and that is it. Conveniently, he's also leaving the pits as we speak. De Jong is in the process of his lap. And Fidel Fabian has joined the race, and Wilson has retired from the event. Well, from the session, not from the event. He's still in the race, obviously. Also, Hunter Smith joined, and I totally missed that. So that's my bad on that. Out of the final sector, a little bit of wiggle, but that's kind of comes with the territory. That's more we were expecting to see. That's on the mediums. Oh my goodness. 15-12 on the medium tires. And Christian has reacted in kind, and he's now back on the track. As Kahan re-enters the pits. Parker soon to be beginning his lap. Connor Setchel also retiring from the session in the pit lane. Hunter Smith takes a 16:26. Parker trying to get a little cheeky slipstream off the car, doing 90 miles an hour exiting the pit lane. I don't think that'll achieve too much, to be honest with you. Sure, my Fidel Fabian just left. I mean, yeah, he's on my team, be my reserve, but like, I'm pretty sure it's not a requirement that you only reserve for one team. If it is a requirement, I certainly did not know about it. Parker may be running slightly higher wings than the average if he's able to take turn 9 like that. He just about died over turn 11. Well, that was a corner. And he'll take a 15:37 on the soft tires. Pacheco is on his lap on a set of soft tires. As De Jong retires from the session after reaching the pit lane. Can Pacheco sneak that away from Mikey at the last second? I don't know how in the world Mikey ran a 15:1 on mediums, but let's see if somebody can do that again. Whether it be on softs or otherwise. I mean, if somebody could run a minute 15 time on a hard tire, I don't even know why you'd waste your time. The mediums are the race tire pretty much everywhere on this game, so like, the heck. Nope, Fidel Fabian has joined the track, and there it is, a 1482 on the soft tire. Put Pacheco back on pole, which Kahan is nearing the end of his outlap, and Nathan Carr is on his lap. And he's on mediums again, so he's clearly committed to that medium tire start. But it's mostly soft for the moment. As Kyler Boggs has wrecked his car out of turn 9. That was awfully far down the straightaway. He must have really been wrestling that car for a while. These weird gear patterns they'll make tire wear good in the race, but in qualifying, I'm not sure I see the point. Maybe I'm just too low IQ to understand, but... Liam Krog retires, and a 15.22 for Nathan Carr. That'll get him on the second row for the moment. Which Kahan finds a little bit of grass, as that retirement from Liam Krog was not in the pits, that was in a wall out of turn 8. Kahan sort of missing turn 10. He may be a little rusty, I suppose, if he hasn't done much F1 in the time since he last appeared in an ARC race. I do not remember when his last race was. I have to ask. Oh, what was that? We may have it on regular corner cutting, but something like that can still be looked at. As AJ Knickel runs a 15.45 on soft tires. And just about got out of Fidel Fabian's way. Jake Scarborough puts it up to 6th with a 15.75. Fidel Fabian is going to get one attempt. As so is Lee Kelly is going to have one attempt to try and improve that starting spot, which I would expect to have been a lot higher than that by now. And he will round the last turn. Travis Van Oostendorp retires the car. That's more like it, a 15.2 from him. So we're just waiting on Fidel Fabian to complete his lap, his one and only shot, as he joined the session late. Pretty tidy through the last chicane. What will this lap time translate to? It will be a 17.1. He'll get 13th. I mean, it's not last. Oh, it's also waiting for AJ to finish his lap. I was not aware. Man, really making sure we save that engine, huh? And then I'll do it for the session. Christian Pacheco runs a 14.8, and he will take pole position, being the only person to break into the 15s, as much as I'm certainly convinced that anybody else on the first two rows could have done the same if they ran onto soft tires. As qualifying has ended, and we will transition over to the GP itself. The mic was being a little funky. I had to unplug it and re-plug it back in to make sure the cord didn't ravel up on me and start staticking all over the place, because that's the last thing I need when I'm trying to commentate a race. So the game has finally stopped informing me that Christian Pacheco has the fastest lap. I would say it took it long enough. And get the other data on the screen. I can just turn it off as the lights go green. It says the formation lap runs now is when I'll run through the full grid order in detail, as I just kind of, took glances at it. My predicted stop strategy is only telling me what it is for soft tires. I don't know if I should have been highlighting Mikey for that or what. Or somebody that's starting on mediums or what have you. Anyhow, we have Christian Pacheco ran the pole lap, the only driver to break a 14. Then we had Mikey De Jong, Lee Kelly, Nathan Carr, Jonathan Parker, AJ Knickel, Jake Scarborough, Mitch Kahan, Hunter Smith, Matthew Stotts, Connor Setchell, Tyler Boggs, Fidel Fabian, Liam Krog, Travis Nusendorp, and rounding out the grid is Tim Olsen, who... Did he set a lap? I don't remember if he did or not. A very surprisingly orderly formation lap. Everyone stayed, in order, as far as I can tell, and nobody got disqualified from it for collisions, so... If they can keep like that in the race, we'll have a nice clean Grand Prix, but, it'd also be a very boring Grand Prix for me to commentate, because the Spanish Grand Prix, obviously, as everyone who knows F1 knows, the Spanish Grand Prix doesn't always produce a lot of overtakes, so we gotta kind of rely on the non-professional element to spice things up a little, as it were. And we have the 5 red lights. I wish we'd kept the other camera. And it is green from the Spanish Grand Prix. Everyone's kind of staying pretty static near the front. There was some people shuffling around in the back, but nobody really making many big actions going into T1. As we'll keep up with who's moved where when I bring the UI back up after we hit Sector 3. And here we see a McLaren and a Renault battling. The problem with doing this is I can't tell who anybody is because I don't have their names on my screen. Well, everyone survived turn 9 on the first lap, so that's critical. Liam Krog has had a rocket of a start. He's up to 8th from starting 14th on the grid. Not the start that, Actually, no, I think Matthew Stotts did that on purpose, didn't he? Certainly wasn't the start that Hunter Smith was looking for. He's down to last, and I can't tell if that was intended or if he just had a spin. As the intervals, Yeek is just freaking out again because we were on You know, we had a formation lap. That's going to happen every race. As the ghost of Nathan Carr gets incredibly loose out of turn 2, and AJ sneaks himself through, but somehow Nathan Carr still had a good run. So they'll go too wide through turn 4. I remember turn numbers. I was just here for the Arc Ferrari challenge, and my brain's already like, oh, what's a Barcelona? What is this race course you speak of? You tell me, Riker. You expect me to do that little trick a lot, looking back and moving down the field as we go out of turn 9. Because if somebody eats dirt out of that corner, I want to catch it on camera, you know. Meanwhile, back here we got wheel to wheel between Liam Karag and Mitch Kahan. These two never met each other on the racetrack before, so it's be an interesting brawl. And Jake Scarborough is kind of caught up in the crossfire as well. Yo in Sector 1, I can't exactly tell what that is for. Christian Pacheco's looped it from the lead. That's gotta be a heartbreaker. He also has wing damage, this much I can tell. I think Fidel Fabian and Tim Wilson just got together. And I think it was Fidel Fabian chopped Tim Olsen that also cost his own teammate Matthew Stotts a bit of his front wing. We have Hunter Smith and Van Oostendorp going down towards turn 7. Very clean move from the Red Bull driver on the outside line. Oh, Connor Suchel with a bold dive on Mitch Khan. It will produce no results. And he'll just nudge Mitch Kahan out of the way. We give him the NASCAR move, and we're under a VSC for Tim Olsen, who appears to have died out of turn 9. And of course, I missed it. Why am I not surprised? It gives me a chance to understand what has happened so far in this race. So Liam Karag is already up to the top 5 after starting 14th place. At this current moment in time, nobody on the track is exactly where they started, and it looks like, I have a funny feeling that the McLarens have just double stacked. Matthew Stotts has to fix that wing from his error, and Fidel Fabian gets a speeding penalty under the VSC. Honestly, with the wrong circumstances, that could happen to anybody. The thing runs out in the middle of a corner exit, or like refreshes at the wrong time, and that can catch anybody off guard, so I wouldn't exactly pass judgment for missing that, because I've done it before too, so it's a very not great system on this game. I'll be perfectly honest. The whole safety car delta can be a little bit finicky at the best of times. And Fidel Fabian must perform a drive-through in the near future. Meanwhile, behind him, too wide again between Van Oostendorp and Hunter Smith. Bit of an excursion on the curb for Travis, will allow Hunter to take the position away. Possibly, as he gets all over that outside curb. Fidel Fabian will be serving his drive-through now. And Van Oostendorp will use DRS and everything else to get back into 9th, and also mow a bit of the grass. Yes, Honda makes lawnmowers, as Connor Suchel. I think I just caught him as he was recovering from a spin through turn 2. The inside curb there, not fun. I assume that's what's doing that in this race to people. Lee Kelly is in DRS range of Mikey De Jong. How much that's going to really do remains to be seen, as we have a spin. Christian Pacheco, I think, has found the curb again. and his tires are clearly cooked. Makes me begin to kind of question if the setup he chose was a hot lap setup or what. Well, Lee Kelly has lost DRS on Mikey DeJong, but Nathan Carr has not lost it on the Alfa Romeo driver. They missed Liam Carragh get around Jonathan Parker in the recent past. Hunter Smith looking for more revenge. This battle for ninth has been a raging torrent for the last couple of laps. Travis Van Oostendorp is surfing California, USA over there. Hunter Smith with dirty air, unable to even keep his car on the road through turn 3. And here we kind of go. The dirty air on this track puts just about everybody at like exactly a second or just over a second apart. And it makes it really hard for things to really develop in a way that makes it entertaining. And Mitch Kahan has found some gravel, which will give Fidel Fabian back 12th. This is going to come to a head right here between Smith and Van Oostendorp. DRS, ERS. Drake Scarborough pits in, I think a little early, perhaps. Hunter Smith trying not to use too much ERS on this overtake. Van Oostendorp shoots it on the outside. Manages to avoid imminent destruction on the inside curb. They touch wheels. AJ Kinnickle has made his way into this fight due to them arguing. Meanwhile, not too far up the road, Connor Setchell looking to close in for 6th place versus Kyler Boggs. We have another spin. As Mitch Kahan is out in turn 2. I don't know if that's a wall impact or if that's self-inflicted. Out there, I'm going to go ahead and guess that's probably not self-inflicted. And the safety car gives just about everybody a chance to try and pit in if they so choose. And Kelly curiously doesn't take it. Neither of the Alfa Romeo drivers do. But Nathan, Mikey, Parker, Boggs, Setchell. It seems like as though everybody that isn't in Alfa Romeo is pitting, as Hunter Smith gets a penalty for speeding under the safety car despite literally not moving when I looked at him. You love to see it. AJ Kinnickle stays out because he pit not too long ago on the VSC that happened just like 4 laps ago or something like that. Same with Jake Scarborough. He doesn't need to pit either because he pit with AJ. Anyway, this is always the hardest part of a stream for me, is I have to try and find random things to talk about for 5 minutes while nothing's happening on the racetrack. This bails Christian Pacheco out somewhat, and to be able to get back into the group of cars that he has to pass. If qualifying was any indication, he should have the speed to do it. He just needs to be in the right place at the right time. Let's see if this restart will shuffle things up. It's obviously shuffled the strategy up. This Liam Karag is up second from 14th. Due to not pitting under the safety car or the last one. However, that may mean that if he doesn't keep a move on, those tires will be at a disadvantage, to say the least. We're not going to be able to go in this lap because Christian Pacheco has not made it back around to them yet. So. Pretty sure at the end of the next one, when Pacheco does arrive, I'm pretty sure that is when we'll be able to go. Oh, that's not where you look at us. That's not where you look at incidents, Riker. No, there haven't been many collision warnings. There's been, well, none that we missed anyway. Yeah, I suppose if anybody hit each other under the safety car period, we would know about it because it would tell us on the bottom, like, oh, a 5-second penalty. Oh, that was interesting. Oh yeah, kind of like that. I didn't even see the collision on my screen despite being literally right behind the two that did it, but apparently there was a collision there. And there's the message, the safety car will be in on this lap. Oh, this looks something like this. I'll put the camera on the leading car that pitted on the previous pit stop, or previous thing. Safety car. Those are the words that I'm looking for. And we're green once again from Spain. And it was not a great restart for Liam Karag. I think he might have that pass made before we get to T1. And behind them, we have McLaren. I think that would be. It has to be AJ, duh, which is out of the race, versus Nathan. But it's all pretty single file. These two are not, though. And there's that stop go from Hunter Smith. I don't think any of that sequence is really worth the broadcast cameras. Adrian Nicholas found himself in a Ferrari sandwich. De Jong with the fastest lap off the restart. He's getting a little closer to Lee Kelly little by little. The AJ tried to assault on Nathan Carr, but Now he's finding himself under pressure from the other Ferrari driver. Just a little bit. Well, as much as dirty air can permit. Which is not a ton this track. I feel the necessity to remind everyone of that. See on the leaderboard there, Christian beginning to try and recover his race. Up to 12th, and he's got a long road ahead of him, but he's got plenty of time to make up the time, so. I'm not sure what's going on there. I must have missed something key. Two AlphaTauri drivers just pretty much did team orders there. Or something like that. I think we had a half spin from Van Oostendorp there. We got a pit stop from Lee Kelly, which will give the Renault driver of Mikey De Jong the lead. Pacheco back into the points after that pit stop. And Lee Kelly down to 13th, only ahead of Hunter Smith, who's made 2 pit stops in the time he's made 1, and nobody else has recently made any after the safety car, so... Scarborough thoroughly out of ERS, and AJ just about out of control. Kyra Boggs was getting pretty close to Parker, but there's nothing doing just there. Now Parker's getting near the other Renault driver of Setchel, ahead of him. Scarborough getting really up close and personal with Knickel, who finds more curbs and more oversteer. And that should be the pass made for Scarborough for now. AJ not really doing much to resist it. He had more ERS than Jake going onto that straightaway and just decided to withhold. And that'd be part of why AJ pit later. Or pit earlier, not later. Connor Setchel has had a very quiet day, but he is up 6 places from where he started the race. Found some gravel. This seems like as though it'll be culminating into a 3-car battle in the near future. At least that's what my read on it is. There's hope for that outcome, because, you know, I need things to keep the race entertaining, so I don't fall asleep in the middle of it, because it's Spain. I love to drive on the track in the game, but racing on it against other people can be a bit of a slugfest. Or, it's not interesting, it's boring. That's what my dumb mouth is trying to say, and completely failing. Knuckle trying to remunerate the overtake that was made on him, but he did not have the opportunity just yet. Parker getting ever closer to the Renault driver. Renault driver also making a little bit of a mistake there. I think he had to catch his car as he hit the outside curb, it kind of looked like. Lee Kelly up to 11th after overtaking the Haas of Van Oostendorp. I somehow totally missed that Liam Crockett also pit in. So both the Alfa Romeo drivers have mostly clear space. There's a Travis around there, but that's about it. It is sort of an accordion effect. The longer that AJ struggles to get around Jake Scarborough, the more chance that Connor Setchell has to get close to them. But Parker is getting closer to Connor Setchell, and if that happens and they start fighting, then Kyra Boggs will begin to catch the both of them. Speaking of catching, AJ had a pretty big run with DRS and everything, but still too far back exiting the last sector to really challenge the place, and now Dirty Air is making short work of his turning capabilities. Here we go, Jonathan Parker's got a chance on Connor Setchell. Another mistake from him through turn 4 has given Parker the opportunity. Can he take it though? I'm not convinced at this moment. This is not really a very easy place to pass through. It would take quite a dive from Parker. Does he go for it? No, he doesn't. And all the while, Christian Pacheco has gotten near this fight as well. Actually, we've passed halfway. Can we just call the race here? I wouldn't be complaining. AJ with another not amazing exit out of the last sector means that still not today for that re-overtake. And meanwhile, looks like Christian Pacheco is going to actually get around his teammate. I was expecting to pass down that straightaway, but not that one. Meanwhile, behind that, Lee Kelly outdrags Fidel Fabian towards turn 1. Business as usual for that one. His teammate will soon follow suit, I imagine. Pacheco, I think, just nailed it on the outside of Parker. So that was something I wish I had seen, as opposed to looking at that stuff back there. Oops. I just didn't think Christian would get more passes in yet. Dirty Air and turn 9 is a very dangerous combination. Anybody who knows this game can tell me that, but... It won't be long before AJ's tires start to fall off too, and then there really won't be much chance of him stealing back third. Yes, all the RSs is not going to help right now because that's like an 8/10 gap to make up. Matthew Stotts has joined the fray for this sort of battle for 6th. It's sort of becoming a battle for 7th at this rate, because, nope, it's battle for 5th, actually. As I think Connor Setchell made an error. It's allowed Christian Pacheco to get up to him, and that's also allowed Parker to get back up to Pacheco, and so on and so forth. Don't give it too long, Lee Kelly might find himself in there too. Himself in there too. Do we see anything into turn 10? I'm gonna vote no. Yeah, no we don't. That'd have been maniacal if we did. We have very clearly defined packs. We have 1st through 4th as one category, and then we've got like 5th or 9th. And then we've got the 2 Alfa Romeos and everybody else. The Alfa Romeo shouldn't necessarily be down there, but they're pit, so... They're like a net 4th or 5th right now. At least. Pacheco, with the powers of all the recovery systems... DRS is not a recovery. Ah, you know what I mean. Goes past. Haha, F1 cargo burr. Thank God. The drag recovery system. No, that's the opposite of what you're trying to do with it. You're trying to reduce it. You're trying to get it out of here. Fool. You got too wide between Parker and Setchell. Parker trying to take advantage of the Renault driver having been passed just now. But... no. Instead, he'll have to constantly drift his way through turn 8 just to survive. As he try a move last second here. Oh, he's gonna go for this one. And Counter-Switch, I think, just turned into him there. But no real harm done from that particular little bump. We aren't working with NASCAR heat physics, so... Another Sector 1 yellow. Hunter Smith is being lapped by the leader. Oh, Parker, you are a sitting duck. Satchel pushing Parker off the track a little bit. Oh! Oh, my lord. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. But it kind of looks like, outside... There's now a Vusk. And I'm sure if I look in the Discord, I'll be seeing some about that one. Matthew Stott is retired from the session. Did he spin it under safety car? Oh my god. I think Ericsson hit him. It just doesn't end for poor Hunter. The green is back out. And really the only place worth looking is, can Parker get back up to Setchel? Following that scandalous driving from him just now, because, I mean, I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure that was the Renault's fault. Perception is weird and all that, but from what I was able to, you know, determine from that I think was, we were playing Johnny Parker pinball between the Renault driver and the Racing Point driver. Yeah, I was right. As, the lead cars, Jake Scarborough, or some of the lead cars, Jake Scarborough and Mikey DeJong have pit in. Anyhow, waiting for some shoes to drop, basically. And Mikey DeJong still in fifth after pitting. Adrian Knickel also pits. And it's the hallowed Ninja 1-2 by all accounts. Nathan Carr leading Christian Pacheco back up to second, which is roughly where he began. Not quite, but of course that's also all on pit cycle. And It's up to Christian now to make the most of this incredibly clear space on the track and make up a lot of that lost time while nobody else is around. Jonathan Parker has managed to make his way back up to Connor Setchell. Possibly some assistance from dealing with the nearby Alfa Romeo driver. Parker, you want to downshift? The strategies are so different right now. I'm not even sure who's where as far as like a net position standing. Like, so we look at the tire age. That's not the tire. We look at the tire ages. We have Scarborough and Knickel who have just pitted. They're on fresh tires. They're on different tires, mind you, but they're on fresh tires. Are we really sure that these two can go to the end? And I know darn well Connor Setchell cannot. Those mediums will not make it 20 laps. I'm fairly certain. The hards are a toss-up. Given favorable circumstance, you may want to go on to a last-second soft tire set for the last 6-7 laps. I don't know if Parker sees fit to take that opportunity or what. We are undoubtedly looking at the battle for second right now, and I'm pretty sure Mikey De Jong would probably win it, considering the tire difference. The Alfa Romeo drivers are doing that. Jonathan Parker outdrags Connor Setchell, but totally misses the hairpin, and Setchell will return to the position he was previously in. That poor exit is going to leave him with no chance to make that pass. Mikey De Jong has overtaken Christian for second place. He has to make up 10 seconds and change to reach the leader, Nathan Carr, and he is pushing his fuel like crazy to do so. I can't really say how this is going to pan out. I mean, obviously, if Nathan Carr pits, then I think the race almost certainly would go to Mikey. If Nathan can stay out the whole way, it's a toss-up. Jonathan Parker has finally regained 6th place after a small war over it. Big curb moment. More curb moments. And he will box with his 16-lap-old medium tires and obviously hit soft tires for the last 7 laps. I had to do quick math in my head. Lee Kelly is beginning to get near Christian Pacheco to take away that last podium position. Let's see how this pans out. We have a spirited maneuver. No, we'll not. We'll have absolutely nothing. Probably the smart move. Just wait for turn 1. It's much easier. Oh, this looks weird seeing this without all the HUD on the screen. Let's just go back to the broadcast camera before I confuse myself anymore. Not the greatest exit from the Alfa Romeo driver. I don't think he'll get the pass done here. Oh, heck no. So, at this rate, Mikey De Jong, assuming that Nathan Carr doesn't pit, will have to gain over a second per lap to have any chance of passing on the last lap. It's obviously nowhere close right now. We can just watch the gaps as we view the battle between Lee Kelly and Christian Pacheco for the final podium position, as there's apparently a caution in Sector 3. I think it's Travis Van Oostendorp around in the final corner, it looks like, or something like that. A lot of curb for Lee Kelly means that Christian Pacheco is safe for yet another DRS straight. Oh, lockup. Lee Kelly had best to get a move on, though, or else his teammate will soon be on the horizon. And that might get messy. I mean, I think it's exactly what Christian Pacheco wants, but it may not matter. Ah! They're going too wide through the first sector. They bang tires just a tiny bit. Can Christian brave it on the outside, or will he just surrender? No, he's gonna hold it on the outside and take the place back. Kind of ruined the moment by spasming with the UI for a minute. Do we see another attempt at turn 9, or will he just continue to wait it out? As the laps tick down, you will at some point have to start making more unorthodox attempts at passing. He tried it there, he made us think. And now his teammate Liam Karag is now in the mix. I just said now a lot in that sentence. We'll keep the broadcast setup going here. As we're going to have a 3-car drag race towards T1. Christian Pacheco is going to be utterly consumed by Alfa Romeo in a moment. Dramatic lane change from Karag as we reach T1. He's been completely cleared by one, but he will defend from the other. And again, the question remains, do we see any effort made by Christian to take it back in the night? In turn 9, in the 9th turn. I mean, it's not wrong, but it just sounds weird. Or is he even going to get a chance? Or is he going to be cut off by Liam Karag getting around him? Or is he going to pass him through turn 7? No, he's not. I was going to say, you are a maniac. Take everything else away again. Christian does have DRS assistance, which means it is much harder to get a pass done there for Karag. If Christian can at least stay within that range of the other Alfa Romeo driver, he can maintain 4th. I'm fairly confident in that statement. which is more than likely just going to mean that it'll be proven wrong in about 10 seconds. If that even is DRS range, which I don't think it is. Are they like bump drafting or something? No, just that Christian took a long time to move over. Too wide some more. They're still continuing to bang side pods, and Christian is sent way off course. And with that, Pacheco has been mugged by the Alfa Romeo crew. Slowly but surely, Jake Scarborough is getting a little closer to Parker, who I remember right, his tires are pretty old. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, those are ancient. And Jake's tires, not so much. I don't think he'll get close enough in time for that to happen, though, unfortunately. So I think, barring ridiculous circumstances, I think you've pretty much got your finishing order here. Oh, we're getting awfully close here. A good lap here from Scarborough, and he might be in DRS range on the final lap. But he's also using all of his ERS to get there. Parker is not doing this at all. There it is. There's DRS. This is Jake's only chance to try and take 6th away. He has to get the next 15 corners like perfect. 15, like 8 corners. His ERS has hit 0. The teammates kind of close together, but I doubt we'll see anything happen there. Parker went kind of wide, but Jake went kind of loose through turn 4. I just don't think there's any chance. Unless Parker gets a puncture right here or something, I don't think Jake has the shot, especially not when you go through the gravel. But as he gets through the final set of corners from somewhere on the grid, from 4th on the grid, Nathan Carr will take victory for the ARC Spanish Grand Prix. Mikey De Jong and Lee Kelly will complete the podium. Driver of the day is very obviously Liam Krog, who gained 10 places en route to a 4th place finish. Despite a disastrous first lap, Christian Pacheco recovers to a top 5. And Fidel Fabian will take home the last point of the race. Connor Setchel messes up the literal last corner, but I don't really think that's going to matter from where Fidel is. And is also out of fuel. And that's the GP. Ugh. So with the Grand Prix over, it'll be again Wednesday, and I'll be back to cover the Arc Ferrari Challenge, some track, I don't know. I should probably keep track of this sort of thing. Actually, I can find the schedule probably. The next race in the Arc Ferrari Challenge is not next week. So the next race I'll be joining you for will be ooh, next week is Monaco week. That'll be something. Oh dear Lord, help us all. Who was that comment?